this portable drive,
Okay.
from high school, which has just been like the greatest thing I've one of the greatest choices I've made with money.
Okay. Yes.
And I just like
So are
set
we
it to
live right
download
now?
on that. Oh, we're
Okay, so go fly.
Hi.
Okay. So
What about the first word was?
this is a new podcast we just started.
They're
We're
over
live
here.
on All Giant Gaming. Just kidding. It's Allegiant. And we don't even have names for each other. I'm Mr. Nobody. This is Dr. Nintendo.
No, he's the Grinch.
Well, I mean, that was
He is.
working, and I hate working.
Sorry, we keep looking over here because like the screen's over there and we see each other, but it's actually right here.
It's okay. Yeah, that's the camera. There you go.
So look here when you're talking to
Look
them.
at this camera. Look at that camera. No, look
There's
at
no.
that camera.
Oh, I guess there's that one over there, but you know that one.
There's no
Yeah.
three cameras. This isn't.
Well, you know, if we
NBC.
had two, it could be 3D. But I don't think they want to.
But this is our first show. This is the first episode, as you can tell. But it's just a show about nothing, kind of like Seinfeld. Except we're not famous, we're not popular. Well, actually, Seinfeld wasn't popular when he. So we're a
No one's really
bit
popular
like,
when they first start.
We're a little bit like Seinfeld, but we're not funny. Not yet. But hopefully.
Well, no.
Hopefully we will be funny.
Oh, I know you're funny. Funny looking.
Okay, well, all right, there we go. That will be our last bad joke. I'm just kidding.
No, it
So
won't.
we were just talking about Friday night at Freddy's.
5 Nights at Freddy's. At least you got like the first letters right. 5 Nights at Freddy's. Security breach, because it just barely came out, and I went and bought it, realizing that I don't have the space for it on my computer. I didn't think about that at all, because of course you don't. That game is 80 gigabytes.
That's
80 gigabytes.
That's a lot for those who don't speak gamer. That's a lot.
To put in perspective, iTunes, you know, the application that has all your music and everything. Yeah, that's like on my computer. That's like maybe rounding up. That's 8 gigabytes. That's music and audio and video. It's got Detective Pikachu on there.
More than 10 times.
Yeah, it's about 10 times the size of all of my iTunes.
Right.
So that's kind of fun. Yeah, so I went and you're getting a call from someone here now.
Apparently.
You know, it's really fun to when you get a spam call.
I wish that like we could know who's calling us without actually knowing who's
there's
calling
this thing
us.
called caller ID.
But that doesn't happen. Well, yeah, but you have to know who the guy is or know what's going on or it'll be bloppity or
What are you trying to?
I don't know what I'm trying
See, you're
to
thinking about it. You're thinking about it.
I'm
Just focus on how we normally talk, and that'll make everything a lot easier.
No,
See,
I
now,
know, I know, but I'm trying to like put in layman terms,
We don't have to. We can explain it. Just like. Okay, the way you talk to me. I mean, I'm uncultured on a lot of stuff, and you're uncultured on a lot of stuff, I know. So we're gonna explain it to each other anyway.
Okay, I'm uncultured on
specific things like Pokemon,
mental
like Pokemon.
personalities or Pokemon.
He doesn't know what a Charmander is.
Okay, but like, isn't that like the red dragon thing? Okay,
It's a lizard.
Like,
Technically like a salamander.
Wow, like, oh my gosh, I can't know what this is. Like I know important things. Make movies or TV shows or stuff like that.
Sure, yeah, but so does the Pokemon company, kind of.
Well, okay, but,
Kind of. Actually, no, they're pretty terrible at a lot. Just saying. In my own opinion, it's gotten worse over time. I love like Ruby, Sapphire, and like a lot of the old stuff. But then
name a good one. You can't. Boom.
No, well, I can name it. I can name a good movie. They did it good with Detective Pikachu. They even made Pikachu swear.
I don't know.
The mascot of Pokemon swore.
Pikachu
In a kid's movie.
Like if that's the strongest one for your defense, then you're.
Well, yeah, I mean,
then I can wipe your floor with this.
Well, okay. Keep in mind, you're comparing Pokemon to literally every other thing you've seen, so that's not very fair, is it?
Okay, yeah, I'm a film critic, so sue me. Like I know what's good and what's not. Okay, and like,
Okay, I mean that's one. Yeah.
I liked Detective Pikachu, but I still understand that it's not the strongest movie.
Oh yeah, it's not the strongest
and
movie.
it's not the strongest story ever told, okay?
But honestly, for a video game movie, it was actually decent.
Like on a Richter scale, okay? Oh, I'm trying to say words. Right.
English is stupid anyway.
Richter scale, okay, like 1 to 10 or whatever, right? It's on a low scale, you know? It's not, you know, am I making sense?
No. But sure, yeah,
Okay, like it on ratings and everything, it made just enough money for who? 20 bucks, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Anyway,
I don't remember.
It's a Warner thing.
Was it a Warner?
Warner Brothers made enough money from that to justify making in the first place.
Like the one thing I will say, and one reason why I guess I'm happy with it, a lot of video game movies suck.
Oh,
go back to like the Super Mario Brothers movie. I love it because it's so terrible.
Oh my, yeah, okay.
I mean, like, and honestly, it just has a lot of plot holes.
That's exactly
so many plot holes. But like, you know, plot holes can be explained if you add more information.
Really
but they didn't.
Was when they had Bowser, like he was a human and he was like some sort of like reptilian. I don't even know what.
Well, they were going off of evolution and stuff like that, which is kind of like almost, you know, you learn as you go.
Dragon? Is it a lizard? Is it? We don't know what.
Well, they're saying that they evolved from the dinosaurs.
We didn't even see like the Goombas or any of the cool things that we get to see in the video game.
I liked a lot of the things they referenced.
There's a lot of things you didn't see in the video game. You're like
even to the fact that Mario didn't want to jump, even though he's Jumpman.
Yeah. Anyway. But I did like they had funny comedians play as those characters, and so I'm excited for the new Super Mario film that's coming out.
Oh, they are.
And thankfully they figured out we should make this animated. Oh my gosh! Whoever thought of that should get a raise.
Wait a minute. So they're making a Mario movie that's animated.
Don't do live action. Why would you make that live action? It makes no sense. But to make it animated, that works. So I still think they should keep things that you see originally as animated. You should keep it animated because that's the best medium. You know.
Sometimes everyone's been wanting to see Pokemon realistic.
No, make Pokemon. I'm gonna stare at the camera for this because keep Pokemon animated. I don't care if it's 3D animated. Keep it animated.
So CGI.
Stop with the live action.
CGI is what they used for the live action. You realize that, right? You know the difference between reality and fantasy, right?
The Pokemon was still animated, and that's awesome.
Well, yeah, of course, it's animated through CGI. How else were they gonna do
live action people in it?
I liked it.
I'm sorry, this is a made-up world and a made-up universe and a made-up.
So is Harry Potter.
So please keep it there.
So is Harry Potter.
Okay, no, but it's built on a mere universe where Muggles exist and we're Muggles.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. But
the real world,
but it's still fantasy. It's still fantasy.
So, if
you think about it, we're
okay.
You know.
Okay.
We went from Five Nights at Freddy's to Detective Pikachu somehow.
Well, okay, Detective. Okay. Whoa. Okay. You know, my brain is trying to think of.
You're trying to think of things.
Big words so that I can just like.
So that you sound smart.
Steamroll over this and blog, ha ha ha. You know, like the British do, but I can't because I'm American. So
I mean, you could just pretend you're British for a minute.
Well, oh dear. No, I can't. I'm not posh enough. I'm not.
Here, should I just do a segue to another thing to talk about?
Well, I mean, we're gonna be doing that all podcasts. So
okay. Well,
that's kind of what drives the podcast. Is our tangents, okay?
Segues and tangents.
Yeah, that's what it should be called. It should be called the Segue Show. You know.
No, it's just a show about
the train wreck. We should just call it the train wreck.
Yeah, we don't know what we're gonna call this, by the way.
Mine are different. You know, we don't even have a name.
Is it possible for us to move the camera like right here so that we are actually because we keep looking over here when it's over there?
Staring at the wrong camera and we look stupid.
There we go. That is perfect.
I look less stupid. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, just get him out of the shot.
We don't need to see you. I get that.
What are we talking about?
Obviously, we didn't rehearse this, right? Obviously, we don't have a script. Obviously,
Why would we need a script? We're just gonna wing it.
If it works for Larry David, why would you have to, right? I mean, come on. I mean, I love Curb Enthusiasm. It's a great show, and I love how like Larry David just kind of gives you a template of what to do for an episode, and then all the other actors kind of just go for it.
So who's Larry David again?
Okay, so
selective OCD.
So you probably haven't seen him. He's not like a famous like celebrity in the eyes of like he's in a lot of movies or TV. And he has 2 TV shows that he's famous for. Okay, that is Seinfeld, and it's because he created Seinfeld. Okay, he got together with Seinfeld and was like, you know what, we're funny. Let's make a show.
Is that the name of that actual actor?
Yeah, that's
So Seinfeld's name is Seinfeld.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Jerry Seinfeld is the name.
So that's his actual name.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they made a show, and it was. I'm glad that you're checking our audio. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
See, he does all the hard work so we don't have to. So we can just talk and be stupid, and we get away with it.
Which I do want to say thank you for this wonderful opportunity. We were even really late, but he's like, he still unlocked the door for us. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for letting us. Thank you. And on that, yeah, so Jerry Seinfeld was a comedian. He did stand up for a very long time, and he did show up for a TV show, and he did a few episodes, and then they didn't tell him that they fired him.
It's fun when you don't know you're fired.
Funny. That makes that funny, okay? Like, I know he's angry about that. I know he still has, like, little, tangents about it even today. But that's funny, okay? Like,
Did they just forget?
Well, okay. I had a similar experience happen to me. I was an editor, and I would edit footage for a website. And I would, put down videos for them on their website. They didn't tell me I was fired. They didn't tell me I was fired, and so I was like, "What do I?
What do
I do now? Like,
so are you gonna pay me for the work I just did?
I don't know. Okay.
Or they didn't tell you until after, sort of thing.
A similar thing happened with Seinfeld. He walked on to set, and they're like, "Why are you here?"
And he's like, "Because I'm supposed to be."
Well, I mean, and so like I came over to the office, and I was like, I work here? And like, you do not. And I was like, good to know. So, yeah, but there was no actual like, hey, guess what? You're fired. Or, hey, so budget cuts, unfortunately, we have.
So they never told you, they never sat down with you, they never did anything like that, yeah.
Nope.
Don't you hate jobs like that? I do.
Tried to open the door and couldn't open the door, and that was
my security badge isn't working.
That was my big, hey, guess what? I think they found someone better to be. I mean, I'm just a video editor.
I wonder if they got fired too.
I hope so. I'm a vengeful person, and I hope that they got fired too. I hope the website failed. I hope that, no one knows what it is.
And that website became TikTok.
I tried looking it up the other day and I couldn't find it. So I think my vengeful thoughts finally made it to the universe or Ethernet or whatever.
Ethernet, you mean? Ether internet?
What's the thing that Thor keeps talking about in Thor mythology? That one. That's what I'm talking about. And if
Norse heaven, I guess.
If you're just listening and you're like, I know what the answer is,
please comment
below and tell us what the answer is, because for this moment, I am drawing a blank. I can't remember what it was. I think it's the ether.
Ether, probably.
Okay, it's the ether.
Yeah, ether is one of those words.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I should know these things.
It's funny. There's ether, and then like in Minecraft, the underworld is nether.
Well, I think that's even in Norse mythology.
Well, yeah, because nether literally means hell.
I should know these things, because
little warning.
Upon a time,
I do use that word occasionally.
Region, but
Dirty,
we
occasionally.
no longer live there, so we don't know these things, and we don't practice Norse mythology. We haven't practiced that since like
There are some people that do believe
since
in
we
Vikings.
decided not to
Or
do
not,
that.
of course in Vikings, but there are some people that do believe in that
okay,
mythology
but
still, though.
as
It's not very popular, not very common, but
when my people decided thou shalt not, we did. Okay, so it's like
wait,
when
you have people?
You know what?
Okay, he will say that is not his catchphrase.
That is not a catchphrase.
But he will say
that is not my catchphrase.
very often, more than anything else.
That's probably like the only time you're gonna hear it in this episode.
Sure.
Okay.
Count how many times if you
we're
so
not,
desire.
We're not gonna start a counter. Okay, don't even do that to me. Okay.
So I don't know, but
Talk about my people, which could be anyone, because I'm American.
No,
and
it's
what that
because
means is
you're a
you
mean
come
one.
from all these different
different.
ethnicities, and then you become one, right? And for the no, you just call yourself American, but really you're all sorts of different. You're
American
this, you're that,
is
you're-
like
you know,
American's its own thing because it took something from everything,
and
and it still is. You know, it's still a big. It's America. It's a mixing pot. You know,
it's a mix.
everything goes in, and you know, some stuff comes out, and it's like what? Yeah. It's like if you look at the English language, it's one of the if you're not a native English speaker, English is the hardest thing to learn.
It is
because
there's more exceptions to the rule than there are rules.
Yeah, it contradicts itself constantly. And if you don't believe me, think about these things. Why do we drive in a parkway and park in a driveway?
Why do we pronounce love, and not lav? You know, why is lava pronounced lava instead of lava? You know, like there's so many things.
And if you compare like the way
with
that
the
Americans
English
say things in English compared to how British say things in English,
oh my
it's
gosh,
different. They say
their
cupper.
English doesn't make any sense.
No, it does
It's
make
not English. It's
no,
not.
their English makes sense.
Their
Ours
English
doesn't.
is not English.
Their English makes sense.
Well, okay.
Ours does not.
To be like linguistic, you know, blah blah blah. We speak American
Yes.
because
yes.
we say things that no other English dialect.
It's gonna be weird it's gonna be weird
And we pronounce
if it's on the
things-
other side of the fence, you know, either way. But
and we
looking
pronounce
at it,
things different
looking
than
at
any other colony. Like,
Hey,
like the Canadians
people
have
came
this
from
weird thing.
America was formed when the people came from, you know, on the Mayflower from. I mean, there were people living here anyway. Like,
Well, hey,
but you know, English and stuff came over here with the Mayflower. Which where did that come from? Britain. So they're kind of, you know, it's their language almost, but we kind of.
I don't believe that we speak English. I think we
speak American.
I speak American because there are things that I say that the British are like, that's not a word. And then there's things that when I'm listening to like say like the BBC, okay?
Yeah. British
That's not
Broadcasting
English.
Service.
Okay? That
British
you guys are
Broadcasting.
making up words, I swear. Okay?
Like
but
a
it's funny,
cart
and I
is
love
a
it.
trolley.
You know, like
A cart
makes
is
no
yeah.
sense,
See, and you know,
but
I learned
that's
these
what
things
it
because you know
is.
Minecraft YouTubers are mostly British.
What?
Minecraft YouTubers are
There's gotta be
mainly British.
American.
Oh yeah, there's Americans too,
gotta be
but
like-
most of the popular ones I've found are British
Well, okay.
or live in the UK or you know whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's something soothing about their voice. I don't know, but like a lot of them are, and it's gotten to the point where a lot of them will talk in like more of use more American words and things like that because most of their audience, or at least a lot of it, is from America. But then when they're not on, like when they're not doing their videos, you know, they talk normal, which is like more British words and things like that. If you've ever, if anyone watches like Mumbo Jumbo or Green or whatever, there was this video where Mumbo Jumbo was just talking with another guy and he was talking about something like this and he pronounced pants the way that we say it. Like they say pants. And you know, it doesn't sound natural for me because I'm not British, but it's very natural for them. But then when he turns around and they overemphasize A or whatever, and they say pants. And it was so funny because you're not used to hearing it that way, like from that voice.
We pronounce it pants. You are
Yeah.
correct. Thank you, Englishmen. for understanding that we do not know how to pronounce your
We
words.
don't.
You're correct.
English doesn't make any sense.
We don't speak your language. We speak our own language
We speak American English.
based on your language.
Yes. Speaking of,
It's kind of like when you go to
Language.
Chile and you're like, I thought they spoke Spanish, and you realize it's castellano.
It's
not.
it's almost
not
like-
even.
it makes me think of like Portuguese and Spanish.
Stop. Stop.
They're so similar,
That's
yet
my
they're very different.
people. You know, I adopt them as my people.
Not their
their own.
people.
They're like, who is this American? You know, but I love them so much because I lived there for a few years. Not really. And you know, I just love them so much that, you know, I just have high accolades. They were super rude to me and did not like my message and what I wanted to talk to them about. You know, but I still love them.
Yeah.
They're terrible, bitter drinks that are disgusting. But they
I still love their
delicious.
I still love their terrible bitter drinks.
I love it so much. It's so delicious.
Love.
But I will bring yerba mate because that's how much obsessed I am with it, and I will let Alex try it, and he will understand what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean,
It is
if I
bitter
get an opportunity,
and
I'll let.
disgusting
I mean, not that
and
I've ever
gross.
been to Australia, but I might have a contact to get some Vegemite. If you've ever had Vegemite,
You know what?
Have
My
you ever-
dad might know someone who can get.
have
him
you ever
that.
had Vegemite?
It is okay. So
Yes or no? Have you?
it's disgusting.
Yes. Okay. Good. Do you have?
It's the bottom of the barrel. when
But
you're
for
done
anyone
making
who
beer.
hasn't tried it, don't tell
would
them
you
how
put
it
that
tastes.
on
Don't
your
tell them.
bread?
Well, it's just a thing over there, and they're used to it, you know.
But it's from the bottom of the barrel of beer. Why would you like that?
wait,
That's like all
is
the
it?
gross stuff.
No, I don't think it.
Yeah, it's
is it?
fermented. It's the fermented stuff from making beer and all those alcoholic drinks that they have. Look it up. You can
Yeah,
fact check me.
I'm-
You can
yeah.
fact check me.
No, I'm gonna have to
Australians,
fact
you
check.
can fact check me too.
That later, but
I don't care.
But
I'm just an
yeah.
ignorant American who doesn't know what they're talking about. Apparently.
Well, into it. That's what we're talking about.
But this should be called the not so factual show.
No, we do.
Where they're
We do
not-
share some facts.
They're not actual facts. They're just
No, that would
things
just be
that
lying.
We thought were true.
You know. Well.
You know.
Okay, so one thing I found while I was on my mission, one thing I found is that, like, at a certain
Stuck
point,
in
you just need
the middle of a mountain. Yeah, you
for
felt
2
a lot of
months.
things.
Okay, I mean, that was a great 2 months. I got to spend 2 months in the same place that my
how many-
great grandfather
how many
worked and opened up.
How many people did you actually meet being stuck in a vault?
Total.
In
Oh,
the middle
total.
of
There
a
was
mountain range
I would assume
in
there.
Utah.
Well, I didn't see everyone there, but I mean, I know it was under 100 people there total.
Okay. Well, you know, I was out in amongst like the streets, the cottages.
I mean, I was basically a librarian. I was a
was
librarian. I was a
in
call center specialist. I learned how to preserve paper. You know, I did a lot of different things.
Paper.
What? Why?
Why would you want to preserve paper?
Because history,
Well,
museums.
Well, okay.
Well, like, you know,
Okay.
transcripts, you know,
okay.
family history. There's a lot of reasons to preserve paper, even comics. People, you see, for paper, you need acidic-free sleeves, acidic-free boxes, temperature and humidity-controlled environment.
We got him on it.
You know, well, I mean, I could go on and on about it, you know, which is kind of good.
I mean,
you
you're
know?
the only expert in this one field, this one thing.
No, I'm not the only expert. No, there's people that know way more than I do.
On the pod.
Oh, on the podcast, yeah.
Okay.
Careful not to hit your microphone.
Anyway, but no, like the BBC for the longest time would recycle their film because it was expensive to make and produce and keep. So there are like really funny sketches from very funny comic duos like Hugh and Laurie and other comedians that we don't have anymore.
Oh, is that
Monty
why?
Python episodes almost disappeared because they were about to reuse their film, and I can't remember.
Is
who
that
it
what happened
was.
with Doctor Who too? Then
Yeah, Doctor Who.
So that's how.
There's
Okay.
more than 5 like there was like a high number. It was like 150 episodes.
And
of
we've
Dark
got like
and Hook.
audio and stuff from them from fans though.
Well, okay,
for some
but,
stuff.
like those are like the super rich that are like have the rare like film of
No,
this.
I'm just saying like where people would record
And,
their favorite audio from an episode, and you know, like probably with a tape recorder, you know, whatever they had.
And
you know,
well, I mean, but
like
there's
I know we have a lot of the audio from episodes.
there's so much missing from the BBC because they had such classic shows that were awesome to look at.
You know, and I don't think that was
it's
a
because they
strange
just-
practice back then either.
They recorded it over. Well, okay.
I mean, if you look at the
wasn't
moon landings
strange.
from NASA, I mean, they accidentally taped over the moon landing.
Okay, but
tapes.
that was an accident. Okay.
What are you, conspiracy
And
theories?
only if you see this live do you see what I'm doing.
The quotation marks
Okay.
around.
That was an accident. Okay. If you want to believe that it's an accident, believe that it was an accident. If you want to believe that it was,
Well, that's just a theory. A lunar theory. I'm glad at least you get that reference.
right? I'm probably the only one that will get half your references to come.
Oh, I know.
We will have to have like another show just to explain this show.
Comment down below what references you get.
Can you get all the Easter eggs that we put in this?
Well, Easter eggs normally are more visual, but you know this works too.
Our audio,
Our
audio Easter eggs.
yeah, our audio eggs.
Our bird calls. Let's call it bird
Bird
calls.
calls.
Because unless you know what a particular bird, calls, you're not going to know what that bird is, right? So let's call it a bird call. If you can identify our bird calls,
That's like trying.
you know what?
I feel like there's a Twitter joke in there somewhere.
I'm going to oh,
There is a Twitter joke somewhere in there.
Well, that one's right there. That's a Twitter joke right there. Calling a Twitter joke. That's what the English would do. No,
That's what the Americans would do.
I'm a birder. I like staring at birds, and
So you're a bird watcher.
What I really
Bird
do
watcher.
is, don't quote that. Don't quote that. I'm a birder. I'm a birder. Okay, you put the ER at the end of bird, and that's what you do, right? Like if you teach, you're a teacher, right? So it's not just
Teacher.
It's not just bird watching. Okay, you can walk down the street and bird watch. Okay, that's like so lazy and casual.
Don't be a stalker.
Okay? Don't even. All right. But
It just sounds worse
we
and worse.
stalk animals all the time. Okay, we look at them while they're mating, and we're like, "Oh, that's cool. Let's keep watching."
No.
And
It's
we
okay.
think, and we
See,
think, "Oh
this
my
just
gosh,
reminds
you
me
should turn off the light
when you go when you
like,
you let your dog out to go potty.
What do you
in the
think the
backyard,
aliens
right?
are doing?
And
There's
you
little green
look
men
at
going,
her.
Look at the.
You look
at
out the window,
humans,
and you
look
see
at
her
the
just like-
Earthicans.
You know, she's like, you're like, okay, I don't know if I should look away. I guess I should, because they can't talk. I mean, they can bark and try and talk, but
Well, they can try and,
they
They
don't
can try
really
and
communicate.
maim you, right? That's what lion would do.
I'm talking about my little dog. My dog.
Your little
okay,
dog.
My
little
the-
dog's
okay.
the size of a rat. Okay, little. Dog.
I've got a little 11-year-old Yorkie poo at home.
Yeah,
my parents.
It's tiny. It's.
She's
so
a
micro.
cutie.
I don't
but
even know
like,
if you can call it a dog. If it's so tiny,
She
you can't
is-
call that a dog. Okay.
oh no, she's a dog.
We have to
alright.
call it some other
Okay,
animal.
to be fair,
It's so small and
she
so-
kind of like she makes pig noises.
What is that?
I cannot read.
Is that important? Oh my gosh.
Someone is
Is someone replying to us?
is Kanye better than Beethoven?
Is Kanye better than Beethoven?
I mean, I've listened to Beethoven.
We're comparing a terrible rapper to one of the
I don't know, Kanye is good.
Okay, Beethoven gave us culture. He gave us like.
What's interesting, if you go back on the
He gave
dates
us
of
so
like
many
Beethoven and Mozart and
Is
a lot
it
of
better than Beethoven?
a lot of those.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
A lot of the
This is where I sound posh. Of course, he's better than Kanye. Okay.
If you go to the years of a lot of those
racial slurs is better than Kanye.
musical artists, like
I
Beethoven,
hope no one
Mozart,
heard
stuff like
that.
that, it's actually not that long ago. That's the crazy thing people don't realize. It's not that long ago that those were made. Yeah, it's like not as recent as like, Justin Bieber or something, but
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Padadon.
Terrible rapper.
I'm sticking
Pada
to that
says.
opinion. Okay. If you're gonna keep watching the pod,
Don't give them a choice.
I stick to my.
Please
guts,
stop. Well, no,
okay?
don't stop. Keep watching, please.
I'm from the South. We say these things and we mean it, and we stick to
Wait,
it.
you're from the South?
Okay, we keep our guns. Okay, our guns.
Texas.
Okay.
Whereas Kanye is a terrible rapper. So I think he means, what do you mean
Why
by?
is he
Yeah,
a terrible rapper? Because where is grammatically?
Grammatically or grammarically? Wait, I even said that.
What is the
grammar?
word? What is the word so that I can,
Grammar-
you know,
Wait a
completely
minute.
just like steamroll him?
No, now I'm like rethinking my life. I'm trying to wait. What's the grammar for that?
In terms of grammar, that was a
Grammatically. There you go. Grammatically.
that was terribly
Comma.
structured syntax, so that doesn't work. Okay, and that
So
makes
you're
me
just like,
sound
I'm not
like
going to
an
answer that
English
question
teacher.
because it doesn't make sense.
Okay, if
It's a
you're
good
not
thing
gonna
your opinions on rap don't matter.
Yes.
And a little sparkly
Well, they don't because
heart.
when you say rap, I think DMX. So get up on my level, okay?
See, I'm like, I don't even listen to rap.
Wu-Tang, okay?
I listened to
that's a
Doofus rap. That was
okay?
pretty cool.
All right, Ice Cube, Ice T,
Incorporated.
all right, the OGs, okay? Don't try and play me the new Eminem, okay? He can't even spell Eminem correctly. It's M and signed M, okay? It's not that hard.
You know,
okay?
imagine if they
You
put
eat
3 M's.
M&Ms, okay?
Eminem.
Anyway. Well, yeah, he should call himself the C.
Eminem.
You know, and see how many people catch on to that.
So, segue to something I really want to show
Okay,
off.
What would you like to show off? This is your
My Shaggy impression.
Oh,
You know Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
God.
Well, I
Yes,
can do a great
everybody-
impression of him.
Everybody's ever
me
seen
get a little water
anything knows what.
You'd think so, but not everyone.
Well, I do think so. I do.
All right, are you ready for my...
We're not
Hopefully
ready for
brilliant
this.
Shaggy impression?
The world's not ready.
And no, this is not the original Shaggy, but you know, it's still
world's not ready
Shaggy.
for this.
Both DMX and Wu-Tang respect Kanye as one of the greats. So again, how is Kanye
No, they
a bad
don't.
rep-
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Okay, so-
full on bull crap. Okay. Okay.
Like,
you know what
I don't
this
know what
means
you're
in
talking
sign
about,
language?
man. Like, I love Kanye
okay.
West.
Hold on. American Sign Language. Thank you very much. Okay.
Dinosaur cookies is all I know. Oh, and help, second floor.
Are those what you know in sign language?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I know how to sign my name.
Rest in peace, DMX, of course.
Yeah. Well.
Someone's got some beef with you.
Go back to the earlier days, okay, where rap meant
Good impression.
something.
Oh, thank you. Like, I really try. Really try all the time.
Rap used to mean something, okay, and now
That's
it's
my
like,
Scooby. Scooby's hard to do.
anyone tries to be a rapper nowadays, you know, and they shouldn't. Okay, there are some people who try hard and just stop.
Okay,
Just-
one thing I will say, if you can rap like Doofus Merch from Phineas and Ferb, that is cool. Well, I can't sound like him at all, but, you know, it just comes to my head, you know. Well, I'll be honest, I don't really understand. I fell down and got glue on my hands. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about,
that
you
little
know.
theme that they play every time you're about to see him, you know.
Doofus Merch Evil Incorporated.
I love that.
After hours.
I love that. It has
That was such a great show. That was like, in my opinion, a lot of like decent cartoons just aren't around anymore. But like that was, I feel like after a lot of the good cartoons,
good old days.
I feel like a lot of the good cartoons, they were just gone. You know,
Can I
there's
say an
SpongeBob that's
unpopular
rerunning
opinion?
forever. But then,
As this is my platform to do so.
but then, like after they were all gone, Phineas and Ferb came around, and that was like. How?
There's not a lot
And
of
it was
good
great,
entertainment today.
you know, for like, 10 years. It was around, it was great. And, you know, and now it's like it's ended,
Well,
you know, and
for-
stuff like
for
that.
me,
But
there's no
it was
real-
great.
But, okay, I think after the 90s, cartoons came down to this place, okay? And if you know
I don't know what you mean by that.
ASL, you know what that means, okay? And I'm going to keep myself clean.
I assume it means
and
that.
not curse, okay? Well, it actually means that. But
I don't know what that means.
Well, you're not Italian, so there you go.
Isn't that sign language?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
American sign language.
I mean, there was an age where cartoons were amazing and fun to watch, like the Transformers. You know, I mean,
barely remember anything from that.
That's what I was just about. You know, like there are things that come.
That's the only thing I remember from the show. I was born late '90s, so
a good toy. It was a good show. It was a good cartoon, right? He-Man was great. You know,
he never actually used the sword in the show. Like it was only a tool. He never hit someone with the sword or anything because they couldn't send that message to the kids because of parents.
Well, but now
which is smart. Now but now you know. Now it's like
angry letters anymore. Okay, and I'm glad no one does that because.
No. It's interesting how kids didn't notice that.
They had the Savage Dragon.
Okay, if we're talking about cartoons, we have to mention some. Tom and Jerry.
Oh, well,
Looney Tunes.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of Tom
What's
and
up,
Jerry.
Doc?
But Looney Tunes is why I got into cartooning. Okay, I'm a cartoonist. I like to cartoon. I have my own cartoon characters.
You draw?
That no one will ever see. Okay, and that's why I got into it was because I would see something from Chuck Lorre and I'd be like, dude, that's awesome. And I just haven't seen like an inspirational, big.
It's interesting to see some old cartoons.
Well, okay, but like the beginning in like the 30s, it was like as if they were on acid, okay, because their cartoon. Have you seen? Look them up.
That would have been black and white, right?
The five people who are watching my show right now, look it up.
We actually got it from 3 to 4.
There are.
Someone says, "Who are these guys?"
Well, we don't know ourselves. We don't know. We don't. Who
was that? The fourth person?
Don't know.
I'm sorry.
We don't know.
Well, I mean,
who are we?
I'm the guy in the blue shirt. You're the guy in the red shirt.
Well, only because it's like the Christmas season and we have to. Anyway,
I don't know if you need to talk to him. Say, oh, they're just people.
They're just random people who walked in my store when I was closed and wouldn't leave me alone. And so I gave them a mic.
That's not true. We talked beforehand.
All of this.
I promise you, please.
This was never rehearsed.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't we planned like a date and time and stuff.
A whim.
But like
we came in, he wasn't even supposed to be
we
open.
saw, we talked.
Anyway. No, like we're just major dorks. Well, I'm a dork.
Yeah, you're the dork.
More of a nerd.
Geeky nerd.
Yes, there is differences. Okay, there's a nerd, there's a geek, there's a
dork,
and then you come all the way down here
to idiot.
to the so nerd, geek, blah blah blah, and you come down, and I'm a dork. I'm down here. Okay, and I'm into all the pop culture stuff. I'm a big historian. I'm into history.
See if you're passionate about something
of my stuff, you're
not really at the lowest rung.
But I would not say that I'm an expert.
Oh no.
But you can say you're an expert in entertainment because entertainment's a new thing. So I'm an expert in entertainment. I also did go to
everything's entertainment now.
What's considered a technical college, and I did take video editing, so I do know what I'm talking about, and in terms of certain things and certain aspects of the entertainment business. But I mean, that's as far as my expertise go. If someone's like, "Can you make me a waffle?" I'm like,
"Where's the waffle maker?
What's a waffle? What's a waffle?
Where's the Eggo?"
Right?
My ego.
I mean, it's so easy to criticize and be like, what's good entertainment today? Because there's so many good classics, so many things that came
not only
us.
that, it's like what
you're basically
it's all on opinion.
Ghosts.
It's all on opinion. Honestly, it's how well you know the entertainer. Like for example, it doesn't matter what Markiplier is going to post, people are going to watch it. Doesn't matter. Because he has that, because people know what to expect. They know that there's more into it. They know that, stuff like that. And then with game theory, it's like, oh, well, it's been around long enough. I mean, people know about it. And as long as they keep putting out decent videos, they're fine, which, like everything.
Basically,
but it's hard to get up on your feet, For me, I want to be a voice actor. I don't know if you can't tell, but I want to be a voice actor. But the hardest thing...
How many times are you going to try and do that? Even in this pod, how many times are you going to be doing this? Like
voices all the time.
Well, okay, that's a good part of having a good pod. Is having all sorts of different things. But the Scooby-Doo,
Mike, it's actually pretty good. Do you know I got a lot of people compliment me on this?
Let's you did get a compliment.
Well, yeah, but I'm not just talking about here. I'm not just talking about here. I've just had
teleprompt or screen or something. I don't know.
They just said good impression.
Like if this was NBC, I would call it a teleprompter, okay? But this is not NBC.
It's just a screen.
I don't know what to call
but that's okay.
But yeah,
say at the same.
Anyway.
But like I like doing voices. It's something that I feel I can do. It's something that I'm passionate about.
Well, yeah.
And it's really fun. Like
it is fun. It is fun. I love doing voices,
being able to create your own characters,
and I love
like
making up my own little things. And when I try and do an English impression, I end up calling it what would have been an American accent if we didn't become America. Okay, that's what it turns out to be.
I need an example for this.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
So bad. It's good.
It doesn't even sound like it doesn't even sound like an accent. It's so bad. It's terrible. It's terrible. So what I do is I cover them like, oh, you know what? Like that's how we would sound if.
Okay, so you're just giving yourself an excuse for how you can't do a British accent.
I'm compensating for a lack of something.
So it's an excuse.
Well. Call it what you want to call it, okay? I call it a lie in the form of reason. So
basically, as a quote, I eliminate. Or no, wait. What was it?
We'll let you think of it first.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I know it was like Adam Savage that said it from MythBusters.
Mythbusters.
I deny your reality and substitute my own.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So
I don't know how I can remember.
In my reality,
it's kind of
my
nice
English accent is amazing.
But I deny your reality and I substitute my own and say, I haven't heard it, so I have no opinion on the matter.
Well, you do understand that.
Is that it?
This is a terrible accent. It doesn't even sound.
Not even.
It doesn't even sound British. But this is how I sound when I want to sound posh, or if I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't actually
it's
know.
It's contagious. No,
I don't actually know what I'm talking about, and quite honestly, I don't even know why I have this accent. Sometimes I will.
You're not even doing it a thick enough accent.
And mid sentence it comes out, and then the rest.
Mid sentence it comes out.
Like the rest of my sentence is in this terrible accent, and I don't.
You're just trying to force it, but you're not actually doing it.
No, I don't. Okay, I don't actually force anything. It just comes out sometimes. Sometimes it just comes. Out.
That reminds me. Have you ever heard someone talking like a British accent or a Scottish accent, and like the longer you hear them and like talk to them, the more the accent comes out in yourself, but you're not trying to like imitate them or anything. But I've had that happen.
Completely insulting.
We got people taking pictures.
That's Butthead.
Well,
I don't even remember how he sounds.
You
like.
are a major butthead. Oh, burn! No.
I mean, I don't remember how he sounds, but I mean, what? Okay, I could do SpongeBob. I could do SpongeBob decent. If you want to hear SpongeBob.
Hey Beavis. Hey Beavis. Hey Beavis. I mean, it's not a hard voice to do. If I can do it, I think Alex can do it. Okay.
So this is the cartoon character I can do, other than
and he can do it. But right now he does the really annoying voices. Okay, let me name the 3 annoying voices.
I'm ready.
There you go.
SpongeBob SquarePants reporting for duty, sir.
I think we just lost all of our subscribers just for.
We have subscribers.
Like our listeners are people who were about to listen
watchers.
To our pod.
Are they bird watching?
I am.
No, they're stream watching.
It's birding. It's birding.
Because you don't want it to be called.
You put an ing at the end. That's how the English language works. Get to my level, okay? Like one day, I would very much love to compete
at the end, English?
In what's called the Great Year or Good Year.
Good year tire. What?
The good year is where you see as many birds as possible in one calendar year. So
Like that's a thing.
365.
That's like
It is a big thing. It's a big thing. And mainly it's old people who retire who can't afford to go around and do nothing and stare at trees and hope to find a bird. Okay, those are the people who do good years now.
it makes me think of like those
originally was
those
just
streams where it's got like
a competition
camera pointed at
to
a
prevent
nest,
people from hunting birds down and everything.
Sorry,
But
sorry. Someone was wondering if they could come in. Like, no, it's actually locked. And yeah,
well, we're right in front of this.
yeah, we're right in front of like the window to
we
like the
see
place,
people try
and
and
so
come in.
people keep trying the
Our
doors. Like,
store is closed.
well, we don't own this store.
Well, this is not our store, but we're in here.
We set a thing up so we can come in,
Doing a
but
thing.
it's normally closed on Tuesdays. So
Yeah.
so I mean, I could kind of do SpongeBob. I could do the villagers
really.
from Villager News, like the Minecraft animation, which no one really knows about unless they know Minecraft.
Hello, my name is Villager number 4. How are you doing today?
It's not just you in a deep voice.
It's a low intelligence voice, get it right. Wait, dang it.
Low intelligent voice.
Intelligence voice.
Patrick. Tartar sauce.
Where'd my wood go?
There, you can do SpongeBob, and I can do Patrick.
Yay, Patrick!
Oh, I started
That actually sounded like Patrick too.
Forgive me, listeners. I started something, and I
Hey,
instantly
SpongeBob.
regret it.
I don't know. Should we do a conversation
Whatever.
between
No, we
two
shouldn't.
characters?
No, we shouldn't.
Yes,
No, we shouldn't.
yes. Okay,
No,
we're
we
doing it.
shouldn't. No, we're not. We're not.
Let's see. I used to on my channel, which is the Emerald Bow Tie. If you guys ever look that up,
Do not look it up. It's
I
terrible.
don't always post stuff to it anymore. But
I watched a few videos. It's not that special.
And that is as a co-host of the show.
but not of my channel.
Working
My
with this
channel is
guy.
completely mine.
I don't think so.
There's a reason why I've been added to this show. It's to make it fun.
No, you weren't added. We both came in at the same time. And it's like, hey, you should do a podcast. It's like, I guess, sure. And you're like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know.
You can accept your reality. I'm gonna accept mine.
Anyways, yeah, see, maybe we should have had a few goals for things to talk about, at least, like, in case we couldn't think of anything.
This is a show about nothing.
Yeah, but, like, maybe we should have some sort of, like,
I say we
Cue.
Larry David it and just do nothing. Okay.
but we're not Larry David.
Speak for yourself.
No, actually,
name-
no, I'm not Larry David.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, well, I
but-
wouldn't think.
I mean, okay, if Larry David came over somehow, some way, I mean, he's in Los Angeles, so he's never gonna be anywhere near me, right? But if he ever came over and like, I kind of noticed that you think you're funny. You're not. Let me teach you a few things, and then gave me a few good jokes or something. That would be like
Like
I
the
could
highlight-
die the next day and be like, oh, you know, because
Whatever
like,
that is.
That's me doing a heaven chorus. Yeah, I'm doing a like the heaven chorus, that you hear when you're about to ascend to heaven. Valhalla or whatever people are talking about. Well, okay, don't go all Mormon Tabernacle Choir on me, okay?
You mean Tab Cats now, all right?
Tabernacle choir.
No, okay, no. That's my stop talking.
Stop talking.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Do we still have viewers? I don't even know because he took the phone.
I don't
know.
Well, if we did, there'd be comments being
more
posted
comments,
on the teleprompter, but there's nothing there. So
But
we're
yeah,
not
there's nothing
entertaining.
else in the chat, so
We're
I think we
entertaining,
might
we're
be.
not cool. We're lame. That's okay. This was a
I'm lame and I'm proud.
failed
Is
experiment.
that what they're calling it? bad joke. Referencing SpongeBob.
Dude, my math teacher would always be like, "Ooh, bad joke." Anytime he made a
Math
joke.
teachers are great.
Okay, he was hilarious, but no one would laugh at him. So he didn't know that his jokes were actually pretty funny. Me and my friend, who happened to be Josh, a lot of my friends end up having a name that's the same.
as another friend.
And so I end up having like all of these friends.
Like, okay,
with the
were you a
same
Josh
name,
or were you a John
right?
or were you a
And
Larry?
So one of my friends happens to be named Josh, and that could be anyone because I have a lot of friends.
You know a
who
lot of
have a
Joshes.
name with Josh, okay? And so one of my friends, Josh, he had the same math teacher, and he had a different period. So he would have him later, and I would have him early.
Yeah.
And so everyone wants to be like, do you remember what Mr. Montoya said to us? And I'm like, ooh, bad joke. Every time. Like, even before he even said whatever it was that he wanted to tell me, I'd be like, ooh, bad joke,
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I kind of sound like Hank Azaria when I do that, but ooh, bad joke, But I
Bumping the table.
that's a great voice actor because he's in so many things, and he's a major contributor
Yeah.
to The Simpsons, and he's
to The
hilarious.
Simpsons.
He is hilarious. I know he's been canceled because he did, I want to say Indian accent. Please don't cancel me. But
We're not even a thing yet.
I think he did like an Indian or a Pakistani. He did something that wasn't his ethnicity. And he got canceled.
Yeah, people didn't like that.
And he had to stop. And I know we're like down the canceled, I mean, okay, when you talk to like me about cancellation and everything, I'm like, whatever, I mean, to cancel Dr. Seuss, he was from another era.
yeah.
guys.
I mean, Dr. Seuss, and plus, I mean,
Okay, don't
Dr.
cancel.
Seuss's childhood. Like, one thing that people don't realize, and this is actually, I feel like a big issue, when people look back and be like, oh, that was, or like, oh, they had slaves, or oh, they, or this, or whatever. You gotta apply you gotta look at what was applied at that time.
2022.
It's like, for example,
1883
yeah,
or something.
exactly. You got to look at what laws were,
1492,
like what laws,
across the
like what were the
ocean blue.
expectations, what were the laws and things like that, and then also look at it from their perspective. It's the sort of thing they didn't have the same views as we had today. I think
They were
people forget that.
incorrect.
Yes,
okay.
maybe they were incorrect, but what examples did they have in order to have the same view as you do right now?
Right.
They didn't have those same examples. And if anything, that shows that humans as a race are advancing in morals, in some morals, and in certain things, and how we care about other people, how we treat others. We're learning more and more about mental health. That's something that's being more and more apparent now.
Well, it's not so much that we're learning more about mental health; we're actually treating mental health.
Yes,
We're actually
exactly.
taking
Well,
care
yeah,
of
we're
ourselves.
learning more about it and treating.
We're not
better.
telling each other to suck it up.
Yeah,
We're actually doing something about it.
Exactly.
We're going to other people. We're talking about it.
because we're learning more and we're becoming more aware about certain things.
Mindset that used to hold us back as a society, as a civilization, as a blah 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 blah. Insert blank here, and that's a good thing. That is an evolution. But to cancel someone who's dead.
It doesn't make
For
any
me,
sense.
That's a crime.
I mean, like, seriously, at what point does that make sense to cancel someone who's
If
already
they
dead?
can't defend themselves,
They can't.
If they
exactly.
can't go to a court and be like,
I mean, it's
hey,
one thing if you
I did
found that
something
they
that you
did
don't
something
disagree,
wrong, like they murdered someone, and but then they like pretty much advertised that everywhere without people knowing. That's one thing. But then again, it's like if you don't know their circumstances, you can't really have an opinion. You can have an opinion, but it doesn't mean it's correct. It doesn't mean that you should have any basis on them if you don't do your research. If you don't know their perspective, that's why that's why judgment is up to God, because
that's the bad side.
He knows everything.
Well, okay, not everyone believes in God.
Yeah, exactly.
But even to like a humanitarian talking to another humanitarian, okay, everyone has unalienable rights.
Yeah.
Okay, or whatever the big word for that is. Okay, everyone has and deserves and should get rights.
Yeah.
On a universal level. Okay.
Yeah, and it's also like it really.
And I'm okay with canceling Bill Cosby. Okay, because we tried him, we took him to court, we found that he really
I didn't know he was still alive.
this, okay? We found out that he really was that, okay? Well, we can't do that with every dead person that did something wrong. So we can't just cancel people.
Look at it, if you've seen the movie Coco, that's kind of a good way to look at it.
Don't put Coco into this. No. Coco's too innocent.
No.
Keep Coco away from this.
Look at it this way: where this guy, he got away with murder and he stole the songs from that guy. That guy, everything went wrong because of that.
With the bad hat.
Spoilers. Sorry.
I think his name was Hugo. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, but he got away with it. But then, later on, evidence is brought up, like undisputable evidence that, hey, I mean, and, you can dispute it, whatever, but it's evidence showing that, hey, he did something, and he stole these from someone else. Maybe they don't know he murdered him,
And he killed him.
and they can guess, but maybe they didn't know they murdered
Disney
him.
movie.
But but they know that he stole it, and so his fame, even after, because he was so famous after he died, his fame dropped a substantial amount because it's all this stuff he did.
And
he stole off of someone who was dead.
And really, who lost respect for him was the dead.
Well,
who outnumber the
and
living.
and it's like,
So that's even worse.
what's even worse about it, he thought he got away with it, but now, because he was found out, because all evidence is going to come up at some point, hopefully. But what happened again? Because there's really no way to know what's going to come up later. Really, there's like no way to know. But he thought he got away with it. He died. Then turns out he didn't. And now everyone who dies and sees him, they're like, I remember you, I remember hearing about you. And, that's, I mean, that's the worst hell.
If you want to cancel certain people who actually did terrible things like Hitler, go right on.
But do your research.
Okay.
It's always good to do research.
Don't just cancel a comedian
Don't cancel
because they
on
made
opinion
an
or what you
inappropriate
think.
joke.
Make sure you know as best as you can.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Someone went to family history,
When we find someone to be as bad as they really are,
I'm really
okay.
curious what
That's
that means.
fine. Well, you should ask our good friend Lynn what that means, or Nick,
Yeah, I'll ask Nick or something.
or someone who speaks ASL, because this is my favorite word in ASL because it's a curse word. So audibly,
That's what I was
keeping myself clean, but as a visual experience,
For those visual learners
this
out there.
isn't. This
I really
isn't
hope we have someone
necessarily a clean
watching.
podcast.
Because
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what that says because we're too far away.
well,
from
I
the
can read it, but we haven't gotten any new comments.
So
And
that
there's
last
no way for
comment-
us to tell.
So that last
because,
comment is the last comment.
yeah, that was them saying that I did a good impression.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's what it says.
No,
Good
isn't
impression.
there-
They were talking about my Shaggy
Okay,
one.
so what's okay? No, there are 3 comments past the little heart emoji.
Yeah, the bottom one
Those
says
were
good
all-
impression.
We've already talked
Yeah.
about those little thingies, bajiggers, and
Yeah.
okay. So
Remember they said rest in
People
peace
decided,
and
you know
peace.
what, this is a waste of time. Let's get off and let's go find another YouTuber. Fine. Okay, whatever. But
Sorry, I wasn't paying
I'm not a
attention.
good salesman. I'm not a good salesman. Like when people ask me, "Is this yogurt good?" I'm like, "No, it's not. It's terrible.
It's like
You should
no
leave.
yogurt is good.
You should.
get-
You should go
you'll
buy
wait.
books. Go buy books.
Go buy books. Feed your
Go
brain.
buy books. Do not eat my yogurt. Which is
Go eat a book.
terrible because I work at a table. I work at a yogurt store, so I
In a
should-
bookstore. Yogurt store in a bookstore.
that exists.
Because they have to get people to buy books somehow.
We have to get people to come in somehow. And
Yeah, I mean, I've worked,
one entrance,
I've worked
it
in like
clearly
call
looks like a
centers. I've
bookstore.
worked-
But there's another entrance that looks like a yogurt store. Secretly, they're both the same store. But yeah, it's just another thing. Like it used to be a coffee shop, so.
Oh, I
that's
just
better.
realized maybe I could find the channel.
Well,
Yeah.
like we should have gotten something attached to our phone, and
Yeah,
we
that
should have
would've
been
been
like,
a
oh,
great
let's look
idea.
at blah 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 when they tell us blah blah blah. But we didn't think that far ahead at all. This is just a whim. This is like on the fly. Okay, so This is like this is
Oh, look, here we go. Oh, we misspelled episode.
this is a pod.
I found us.
Okay, you know what? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Wait, there's
Stop
two people
it.
in chat. That's probably
Throw it
him.
away.
That's
Throw
probably
it
him
away.
and me.
Throw it
So
away.
no one's watching.
Throw it away. Throw it away. Throw it away. There. Okay. This is just us. Human beings.
There's no one watching.
It's just human beings talking. No technology, no nothing. Well, okay, we're the recording technology. Okay, the computer, the
Technically,
the
this is
airwaves, the. Okay, but it's just us in a random closed store.
I'm sad. No one's watching.
What do you expect? This is NBC. Like you keep talking like as if we're like a guaranteed like 3
No,
season
I'm just trying to keep things going, but yeah.
Well, just make me angry, and I will go on a tangent like any other angry Jew. Okay?
You know
That's not angry. That's not trying to be anti-Semitic or anything. It's just I've noticed a lot of Jews. They just go
Okay,
right off.
probably shouldn't mention that at all.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I strike that from the record. Okay, I did not say
Strike what from the record?
exactly.
But yeah.
Well, okay, so like the cancellation
two
got us on
likes.
something. Yay.
Oh wait, I'm offline for some reason.
2. Thank you.
There we go. Now I got
rhymes.
3. One of them's from me.
Well, I'm glad that you like your own show. Good for you. I would hope that Larry David liked
don't-
his own show
I
when
don't
he
know
was making
if
his
this is
show.
saved afterwards. I guess it is.
Okay,
Probably.
you can stop looking.
Oh,
Okay?
well, I'm just saying.
You're in production.
Well,
like,
yeah, but I'm just
Produce
okay.
it first,
Yeah, so
and then worry about it later.
yeah, I guess it saves it. But it's nice to know. Maybe I could like watch.
Let's
this
make
later.
more bird calls. And for those who are just joining the pod, a bird call is what we call on the pod something that we made a reference to, and if you just happen to know, oh, I know what that is, then you know our bird call.
I don't think that's gonna take off.
Because Easter eggs are something that you're looking for. You're hunting them down. You see it.
You're kind of looking for the bird call in the.
Bird calls is something in birding that you listen for. Okay, and that explains it. That makes sense. Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
Well, but you're not looking for it. You're listening.
Yes, that is true. As I have said many times before, that is not my catchphrase. So he thinks it's a catchphrase. It's not a catchphrase. It's not. It's not my catchphrase.
It is your catchphrase.
It is not my catchphrase. It is not my catchphrase. Okay, just because that one guy of our friends who we know.
Oh well, yeah, but that's not
mentioned-
why I noticed it. That's not how I noticed it.
You know what? I should not be defined as the guy who says "you know what" all the time. Okay?
Yeah, you're the guy in the red shirt.
Defined as. I just wanted to spit out fire right that. I was so. You know,
You do know the difference between real life and fantasy, right?
I do not. I am insane. I should go to a mental ward. I'm just kidding. Please don't. Please don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Like we will make a lot of references, and if you catch them, be like, hey, I just caught your bird call. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can identify the mallards and the different ducks and birds that we find. If you find well, he just made that joke. But yeah, like if you get it, you get it. If you don't worry about it, man.
Yeah. I guess.
And we're not gonna.
I don't know
explain
what
it.
else
We're
to
not
talk
gonna.
about.
We're not gonna show it. We're not gonna be like, hey, guess what? That was a reference to blah blah blah. Because I mean, if you know what you know, if you don't,
The cake is a lie.
that was something that my film teacher used to tell me all the time. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Move on to the next question.
Don't know it.
Well, like, okay, so I love Mr. D. Mr. D was awesome. Jack DeGilia is the best teacher ever. I love that guy. Okay, biggest fan. He's not a big fan of me, but I'm a big fan of him. And he's retired. He's in Italy, living his best life. Good for him.
But he used to teach our class, and then during our tests, like our big tests, like the ones that you don't want to be failing at, okay, he would walk to us and he would notice that we're on the same question for a long time, and he'd be like, if you don't know it, you don't know, so move on to the next question. And then he'd walk up to the next student, say the same thing. So it became one of his things, you know, that we recognized that we were like, you know, so some of us would try and quickly get through the answers, so that he
I was
would,
allotted extra time.
but I'm a big firm believer of you can figure it out, so figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And so I would
like,
get stuck on a question like, I know this answer, I know this answer, and then behind me, Jack Agilia.
know it. You don't know it.
Exactly.
See,
But I love when teachers do silly things like that.
See,
That's just
what
one of
I
those
got
things
for
that just-
tests, what helped me with tests and quizzes and things like that was multiple choice, because I understood the process of elimination.
If you read the question,
when you have
can
eliminated the
figure out
impossible, whatever
what the
remains,
answer
however
is.
improbable, must be the truth, according to Sherlock Holmes. So, yeah.
So Arthur
You just, like,
Conan Doyle.
say, okay, well, C is obviously incorrect. D, maybe? But B, I'm pretty sure it's not. So it's either A or D.
You don't know.
I think it's A, you know? And that's how I got through school. You know? Like, I didn't have to know everything, but, you know, I just had to, you know, use the process of elimination.
Well, yeah, but you can't always do that.
Like, all the time.
Not to a writing prompt
Well, yeah.
at the end of the test. Please write this and that.
I'll
And
just
an
write
essay
C.
on it.
I'll just write
three-page
C.
essay. Good luck with it. We didn't give you any extra paper to write on.
C.
Anyway,
Wait, if I write A in the top right-hand corner, am I guaranteed to get an A?
wow, wow.
I mean, like,
Just
you know, or write it in every single corner.
No.
And all over the paper.
No.
So then they're like, you really wanted an A. I'm going to give him an A. No, I'm just
Who?
kidding.
Who?
Everyone do.
Who would say that? And for the audio listeners who don't know what's going on, you're like hearing a splash or whatever. Alex is trying to do perfect a bottle. What that means is he's tossing a bottle and he's trying to get it to land.
I almost got it.
Bottle, and it's not. So
Really close.
okay, you can stop it. Stop it. You're. I will breathe fire.
You can't breathe fire. That's physically impossible.
You know what? Anytime I have a certain pepper, I feel like I can. Okay. I once ate a habanero, and I thought I could breathe fire because I kept doing this the whole time, going the whole time. I will post it in the comments if I can. But there's a video on Facebook that I have on my Facebook page, and it's me going the whole time.
That's all, folks.
So we had a challenge, and we tried to take a habanero, and my brothers had the smart instinct to spit it out. Okay,
You didn't?
I did not have that instinct. Okay. There are instincts that save your life. There are instincts that will not save your life, and that
There are
was one of them.
instincts that will destroy your
And
life.
so I do this the whole thing, and we were just talking about Jack
I wasn't
Agilia. My teacher Jack Agilia posted. He's like, dude, you're gonna shit like acid, like and he was right. I did.
Let's move on from that.
But it was a painful experience that my intestines did not thank me for.
Yeah.
But
Let's move on from
there
the
are times
intestines.
when I will eat a really hot spicy thing, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm a dragon, but I'm not. But sometimes I'm a two-headed dragon. I'm just kidding. Anyway, okay, yeah. So
Are you okay?
stop. No, we're not okay. That's why we have mental health issues today. Okay.
Maybe you.
Just
No, I'm
got
just kidding.
real. I just got real. Just got real. No. Okay. So
One watching.
I love Spider-Man.
Probably just me.
I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's fun. Do you like Spider-Man?
Yes, but I have not seen the new movie yet.
Well, whose fault is that?
Your fault. No,
I remember paying for someone's ticket to go see a particular movie.
I also remember you got the wrong day.
And I got, you know what? Okay, that did happen. Okay.
Yeah, you got the wrong day. You took a lady out of her seat.
You know what? You know
took
what?
that lady out of her
I told
seat.
you that in strict confidence that I felt guilty, and now you're rubbing it in my face.
Well, you're pointing it out. I told you I felt bad about not being able to go. I told you that in confidence.
Yes, but he flaked on me like a total
I didn't mean to. I was
nerd.
having a bad day, and I was having a hard time.
You know what? We all have bad days, and we still walk to the movie theater and watch that
You
movie.
know how tired I was. It's a 40-minute drive to like here. You know, to like the movie theater. It was
If I
like
knew
45,
which
like
AMC
45
theater
minutes.
was close to you,
It was
I probably
rush
would've
hour.
picked that one. Okay.
45-minute drive from my house. I have to
problem-
come pick you up, or no, I didn't have to pick you up then, but I had to come to the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I have to drive you home. Then I have to drive me home, and then I have to wake up probably early the next day.
I bought the ticket. That costs money.
And it cost me gas. Lots of it.
So
And I have a car that might break down pretty soon because it's old. The
it is. It's almost
battery
20
died
years.
recently. That was fun.
It's like what, 20 years old now?
I'm getting there.
Yeah, my car
just glad
that
it's
I
an
did
Impala.
have a few months ago, but I no longer have.
That's why I have to
did
pick
die,
you up and stuff.
which is why Alex ends up driving me around.
Oh no, you said my name.
Oh,
His
that's
name's
right.
Corey.
He's Mr. Nintendo and I'm Mr.
Apparently.
Nobody. Yeah, that's right.
Dr. Nintendo, because I
Just as long as we don't say our last names, I guess
called
it's
you
fine,
Dr.
right?
Nintendo. But yeah, maybe Dr. Nintendo sounds better. Maybe I'll catch on. Maybe I won't. We'll let the viewers.
What viewer?
Yeah, they're not gonna. We lost our audience after I told them my unpopular opinion that Kanye cannot rap, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, no apologies. No apologies. Okay, Kanye sucks.
It
and he
probably would
needs
have
to
been
know.
good if like we let people know that we're gonna do a pod.
Yeah, but like, this is okay. Seinfeld didn't
We'll
work
find out next
when they
time.
first tried it. Okay, Seinfeld didn't work when they first tried it. Okay, you know what
Yeah.
saved Seinfeld? Reruns. Okay,
Yes. So we'll
reran
just share
the
this
same
podcast with every
8
single person we know
episodes.
until we get popular.
They replayed the
Everyone's
same
gonna
8
hate us.
episodes over and over again, and within a year, they gain popularity, and people are like asking about the Seinfeld show, and NBC was like, "Oh yeah, I guess we can make that a show."
Without telling them.
Well, okay, that I don't know if that was like 100% NBC, but there was a show that Seinfeld was a part of, and he was only a part of for 8 episodes. He came in at the 3rd season, I think, and then he did like 8 episodes, and then they just did not tell him that he was no longer a part of that particular show. But Seinfeld, it wasn't a guarantee. Seinfeld, like
Okay.
you sign. And then
I know, but
fell.
you just pronounced it Seinfeld.
I did not.
You failed at signing something.
I did not.
Was it a
I
non-disclosure
pronounced
agreement?
it correctly. It's Seinfeld.
I've signed multiple non-disclosure agreements. about
Okay,
certain
anyway.
things.
Seinfeld didn't get a 100% guarantee contract like some people are very fortunate to get when they, get a pilot episode and everything. Under his conditions, it was if the pilot did well, we would keep it going. If it didn't, we're not going to keep it. And unfortunately, not a lot of people watched it, and so it didn't really go anywhere. And then eventually, because they kept rerunning,
because they needed to fill time.
they needed to fill in certain events and time slots. So they would put in Seinfeld.
This is lying around. Here, he's just...
So they did have 8 episodes. So they put in those 8 episodes. For a whole year, they played 8 episodes of one particular show. And that gained popularity.
TV. No, I'm just kidding.
In the 90s, that's all people did.
Yeah, that's all we had. I say we. I was born late 90s, so
So he doesn't get it. He
Yeah.
doesn't know. Okay.
it's like I never really got to experience the 90s Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, dude.
I never really
those
got.
were
I saw
awesome.
like the tail end of like the commercials, like
That's why. That's
Saturday
why
morning
I think
cartoons.
past
Blah, blah, blah.
the '90s,
You know?
we have terrible we have terrible entertainment. Okay, we
Yeah.
do. We do.
I mean,
Our
certain things are
entertainment is
decent,
terrible,
you know.
Okay.
But like, it's not like we have Abbott and Costello anymore.
Oh my god.
I have a cassette tape of them.
They're so good.
They are
So
if,
good.
If you've ever heard Who's on First,
these guys,
that's Abbott and Costello.
that is it's a great bit, and you should
Oh, yeah.
you should.
That was the
listen
most
to
popular
it,
one,
and
I
it's
believe.
great, staticky radio.
They were
old-time
they were both like kind of
glory.
comedians, but like they did skits and things. It
Well,
was really great.
it was a comic duo of the day, and it was fantastic. It was great. All right, and if you are
Think of like Tom and Jerry's slapstick comedy, but like
No.
not slapstick
Wrong.
comedy.
Wrong.
But it was like
Wrong.
good level, you know.
wrong, he just said nonsense. Don't listen to that guy. Okay.
Agreed. It is.
You can accept your own reality, and I will my own. Right? Okay.
I'll substitute yours.
But yeah, no. I mean, we eventually got Hugh and Laurie in the late '80s and stuff. So I mean, it's not like a complete bust. But Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. Those. That's a good comedy duo.
The only thing that came to mind was
Short-lived.
Huey Lewis in the News. That's the power of love.
Okay, but there are other famous people. Okay. Anyway, Seinfeld,
Lewis and
yeah,
Clark?
like they weren't that cool, and then it became cool, and then it was nothing but talk of Seinfeld, especially in the '90s. Okay, you go to the water cooler, and
then a bunch of stuff happened, then iCarly came around.
You go to the water cooler at your work office, and guess who?
Hey, did you see Seinfeld
Guess who they were
last
talking
night?
about? They were talking about Seinfeld. Okay.
Oh, I thought they were talking about Elvis.
No, that was the 50s and the era of radio. Okay, that gets me on something.
Why didn't they? If that was the 50s, why did they not reference Elvis in Back to the Future?
They did.
When?
They did.
When?
They
Tell me
called
when.
him. They called him the king.
When? In one scene. I love that movie. It's my favorite movie. What?
I don't know.
So you're just
I
assuming
would like
they
to
did.
go on record. I do not know. Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I do not know. That is correct, Your Honor.
He's making things up.
I am not. Okay.
Yes, you are.
I am not. They even
Okay.
danced a little jig that he did that made him famous. Okay. He stole from the black community. Okay. All right. So
I thought he stole it from Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Really?
That was a good movie. I know a lot of it
That
is
is a
fictional,
good movie.
but you know,
That is a
really
good
great
movie.
with history.
That is a good movie. Yeah. That's some good stuff. See, like that's why I say like there's no good things today is because there's so many good classic stuff.
Well,
that came
I mean, a
before
part of that
us.
is nostalgic. It's just nostalgic.
It's not nostalgia. It's fact. It's true. It can be proven. Okay, it really was good back then.
But good and bad is normally opinions.
yes.
So one person saying it's good, another person saying it's bad. Those are both their opinions. A general opinion
Oh my
makes more sense.
gosh.
But see, I'm very logical and straight-minded that
oh my
way.
gosh, and I'm emotional, so it's like if you get me angry, it's all about the anger. You know.
And so you don't know what you're talking about. You're just angry.
I do know what I'm talking about.
Are you sure?
I'm just a mountain of anger.
Are you positive or are you negative?
And it takes a bad customer, and then it will explode out of that mountain as a volcano, and then
As a volcano.
and then they complain to my manager like, hey, this guy, he caught my hand in a cookie jar, and I don't like
Yeah,
it.
two people.
So okay,
Probably
hate,
just us two.
I hate these customers. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you where I work, and thankfully my name tag is over where I work.
Let's see.
Thankfully,
He works at.
Shush! I don't want to get fired. Okay. That's the drawback when you talk about real life. It's like real life.
You gotta be careful.
consequences. So I work.
I mean, if it's places you used to work,
I
that's
work at a store, and at that store, I once said something, and I was talking in general terms, and they still thought I was talking to them specifically, and they flew off the handle, and
Or is it like when you say
This
you,
happened-
but
this
you
happened a
mean
while ago.
generally?
This happened.
person?
This happened a while ago, and I used you terms as in like a general audience and everything. I was
Instead
very
of saying when
general.
one does this, you say, oh, when you do this, you know.
And they're like, "Excuse me, I'm blah blah blah."
Excuse me,
and so-
princess.
And so for like the whole duration that they were there, they just kept screaming, "Oh, I must be an animal because I'm just an animal, an animal." And I'm just like, that was out of context. I did not say that. That is correct, Your Honor. It was ridiculous. My customers are ridiculous. My customers do not think themselves. And I have to explain things for them. I have to think for them. I have to spoon feed them the answers.
Well, that's customer service.
And it's so annoying.
So for me, I got.
Oh, does this sell yogurt? Gee.
I hope so.
It says yogurt on the neon sign above you. What do you think,
They
Sherlock?
can't see it. It's above them.
Okay, but like they walk in, it's in line, it's in view.
Yeah.
Okay, there are signs all around the store that say what we sell and what we do and what we're all about. Eyesight.
Money.
Okay, it's in the general eye line. They should know that it's yogurt. And they're like, is this ice cream? Guys,
Well, maybe they're wondering if a specific one is ice cream.
there is a difference between yogurt and ice cream.
But is it frozen yogurt or no? It's just normal yogurt?
No, it's frozen yogurt.
Oh, okay.
It comes out
So there's no
cold.
difference.
I will kill you. That should be my catchphrase because I said a lot to a lot of people. But no, like they asked me all sorts of questions, and I'm like, if you knew what yogurt was, you would know that that was a terrible question. But you can't actually say
Like,
it.
is this gluten free?
Yes. Obviously,
yogurt-
it's gluten free.
So what is gluten?
Gluten is the protein that makes up wheat, barley, oats, that kind of thing.
So it literally
it's a very
cannot be in-
specific grain. Really,
So it's a grain thing. It
Yeah.
literally cannot be in yogurt, frozen yogurt, ice cream.
not unless they fed it oats or barley, which farmers do not do. So no. But guess how many times I get asked, "Is it gluten free?" I get asked all the time. And guys, it is. It's gluten free.
I mean, I'm sure there's some yogurts or something out there that have some sort of flavor that makes it. So
There
it's not.
was a smart, intelligent question that I did get, and I just got it today, a few
what is it-
hours
what is it-
before
what's good?
recording this. They came in and they're like, "I have a question." I'm like,
I have an answer.
"No, I do not. I don't ever say. I never say. I never
Well,
say."
no, you say I have an answer.
very-
Let's see if they match. You know.
I'm a very snarky person, and I'm like, good for you. I'm glad that you have questions. I have questions on your outfit. I don't actually say that particular
Good. I was about to
insult,
say.
okay, because that's pretty insulting. Okay, but
Yeah.
I'm like, shoot, tell me. And so she'll go, okay, if this is non-fat, how is it delicious? That's a good question.
That
That's
you
a
do it
good
like
question.
the Meet Robinsons. That is an excellent question. Then you just run away.
I don't know. Because I don't even find non-fat things to be delicious. But there are certain flavors from my store that are actually pretty good. Okay? And if you ever see me, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I saw you on a podcast.
Oh yeah, it's that weird guy in the red shirt.
I will kill you. I hate Christmas, and I'm dressed in a Christmas outfit. And I just hate it. I just hate
He
it.
is a Grinch.
Well, it does say on my thing, but you can't, unless you're like zooming in on a tablet, you're like, what does that thing say?
Or if you're on your computer, you
And
know, and not on your phone.
You're like,
It's
got like a
there.
magnifying glass. You're like, what does that say?
Pixels.
Anyway.
I closed my wrong.
So for our listeners, my name tag says Mr. Grinch. I got that nickname because I'm a grump, okay? And I hate Christmas. I ultimately, legitimately hate Christmas. And
Why
that
do
is
you
an
hate Christmas?
unpopular opinion.
How do you hate?
Okay. Well, okay, now we're getting to like psychosis and mumble jumble, and no, we're not doing that. But as a simple
should probably
like
end
co-op, okay, like to just be like I hate Christmas. It's too commercialized. It's too happy.
It takes away from the purpose.
It's too happy. Okay, stop it. All right. Terrible things happen during Christmas. Okay. It's not a good season. It's a regular season that happens. It's called winter, and things die. So not a good season. You know what's a good season? Spring. Spring is a great season because it's
Things are
rebirth. People come back out.
People are alive.
I mean, we kind of came out from the pandemic around springish time. It's more of the summer, late summer. We were coming out of our little,
Man caves. Because we
if you
had
call
houses and garages, and then by the end of COVID, since everyone was inside, they did stuff, and now we have man caves, or whatever. However you want to take that.
Yeah, it's just,
We should probably wrap up because I've got
you got stuff to do.
stuff to do.
Yeah, we have lives to leave, so.
Yeah. Apparently we have lives. Who knew?
I didn't know.
Frying pans. Who knew?
Oh my gosh.
Best.
Name that bird call if you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Been great.
On that bombshell.
People
Good night.
like and subscribe and
Since this is also on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
right down there is a description. I don't know what it says.
Oh, Giant Gaming.
Around there also
Just kidding.
probably like right over here
Allegiant.
or over there or something. There's
Or
going to
maybe
be
it's
like
up there. Or maybe
icon
it's
that looks
up
like this,
there.
or like this,
Or
and you
maybe
want to
it's
click
over
that
there.
and press subscribe and
maybe
the
it's
little
in the
bell,
center.
and I won't be notified. But it'll be great for the channel or whatever. And yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah.
Well, on that bombshell,